Hi guys, Jonathan Chown here with JChownGolf at Crondon Park Golf Club in Essex, and what we're talking about today, we're talking about fairway woods and hybrids and how to hit them properly off the deck. So you might be a golfer who hits them great off the tee, but as soon as you get off and hitting them off the ground, you start topping, you start fatting, you start blading the shots. And there is one thing in there that does sound, when I explain it, it will sound like, oh, that's pretty obvious. So why didn't I not think of that? Exactly what this video is going to be like. So we're going to talk about one, the main thing you're going to be doing wrong from going from the tee to the ground, and two, we're going to talk about a good drill on to reinforce this movement. So before we get into that, guys, please make sure you like the video. It helps out my page a lot more than you can imagine, and also hit that subscribe. And leave a comment down below if you want a topic covered in the future. I may well be making a video just like this video today, was someone's comment back a few videos ago, wanted help with fairway woods hybrids off the ground. So let's get into this. So what we're going to start off first with, the more problem one. So that's 3-wood and 3-wood off the deck. So if I first and foremost give myself a slightly good lie, let's actually place that. So really what we see as what can work off the tee but not translate nicely to the ground. Now this is something you always hear about golfers saying they're just trying to sweep their 3-wood off the ground. They're trying to sweep their woods off there, just clip it, brush it off the top of the ground. Now with that off the tee, that can work great. That can work great because we want our angle of attack to be a little bit shallower when we're hitting off a tee, for sure. We don't want to be hitting as descending. But when that ball is on the ground, we want to be hitting down on that golf ball, just like we do with iron. We want to be shifting into our left side and hitting down onto that golf ball. If we try to sweep it too much with, let's say, a wood, we'll be naturally trying to hang back on our back foot to try and sweep it. If we do that, topping the golf ball is going to happen. So we want to treat off the deck, so off the fairway, what have you, fairway woods, and even we'll get into the hybrid as well, like an iron. So what happens first? Ball position has to smidge back a little bit. Now if I was off a nice tee that was slightly elevated, I would be with that ball with a 3-wood, let's say just inside my left foot, maybe left heel. Now with off the deck, I want to move that ball position just a little bit back so it's more in, let's say, a 4-iron position, because that's going to help me hit slightly down on that golf ball. Not say, let's say, as much as a 7-iron, we just say as much as like a 4-iron, where it's a little bit shallower of a divot going in there. That's going to help us get down on top of that golf ball and lift that ball up in the air. Going to be more like, let's imagine, like a Sergio Garcia, one of the best 3-wood players full time. Makes those little divots on there. Henrik Stenson a little bit the same as well. So that ball's slightly more back in the stance, so more, let's say, in a 4-iron position. So still forward of middle, and we're just going to continue to hit down on that golf ball, and we can see quite a nice, just clip the smallest little divot there. Probably couldn't see it, but that's the way we need to do and get into these fairway woods off the deck. Again, it's not a very difficult type of thing to do, but it's like we said as well, it's like, oh, why did I not think of that kind of thing? It's one of those things where it's just the saying of wanting to sweep it off kind of gets lost in translation a little bit. We want to hit less down, of course, but we still need to hit down. We don't want to be hitting too level. So we've got to get that ball position back, and we've got to be hitting a little bit down on the golf ball. Now, especially when it comes to hybrids. Hybrids are obviously in between a hybrid and a iron, or a wood and an iron. So they are designed to be hit like irons. They're not designed to be hit like woods. So especially if we're struggling with this club, especially with players that come to me for lessons, if I see them struggling with this club, let's say strike, topping the ball, thinning the ball, they're trying to hit it like they're trying to hit it up off a tee, and more like a wood, where that ball would be far too far forward and they wouldn't be shifting their weight that much. They'll be hanging back on that back foot to help get that ball in the air. If we get down on that ball, get into our lead side, that ball will be going up and we'll be making a nice divot after the golf ball. So same thing again, we'd want that ball slightly more back in our stance. So still forward of middle, more 4-iron position again. And I've got, let's say, a 2-iron hybrid here. Same thing, we want to be getting on top of that golf ball. If we're hanging back and trying to sweep, more often than not, we are going to top the golf ball. If I hang back and sweep, thinny one down there, I'm very, very weak. So we want to be really getting on top of that golf ball. And what we're going to talk about after this strike is we're going to talk about a great drill that's going to get us on top of that golf ball. So again, it's designed to be hit like an iron. Let's hit it like an iron. Let's get the ball a little bit more back, 4-iron position, and I want to be hitting down on that golf ball a little bit. See that with that nice divot after the golf ball. That's what we want to be doing. We don't want to be trying to sweep it too much, because margin for error there is about that big. If we get that slightly wrong, we're topping the golf ball. So let's start doing that a little bit better and start treating them a little bit more like an iron, more, let's say, more like a long iron, and we'll be hitting them better automatically. But let's get a good drill for you to do as well, so we can get into that lead side and hit down on it. So saying hitting down on it is one thing. Well, let's do a little drill here, or exercise type of drill, to get down on that golf ball, which is great. So let's do that a little bit first. So we talked about the concept of hitting, let's say, woods off the deck compared to off the tee, hitting it more like an iron. So what we need to do now is a little drill to reinforce the hitting down on the golf ball and shifting onto your left side, which is the crucial thing we need to do to be able to hit these clubs well. So this is a drill I've covered before in my, I think it was a video that I was saying how to stop fatting the golf ball. I put a card up there, and this is exactly the same drill. So how we do this drill, and it is awesome, really, really good drill, because again, it will stop you fatting the ball and it will stop you thinning the golf ball, because it gets your low point forward, which all that means is we're shifting our weight forward, not hanging back on our back leg. So how we do this drill, we have, right, so the first thing that's very different, we start with the ball out the middle of our stance. So that's the first thing that's different with a wood, that's certain. But we move that ball all the way to around about our front foot region, but we keep that club in the middle of our stance. Now why we do that is because we have to shift then onto our lead side to be able to get on top of that golf ball. If we hang back too much and we try to sweep it, we'll top the golf ball. Only way for us to get on that is to hit down and get onto our left side. So club out the middle, ball at the forward, only little swings to start off with. I have to really get on my left side to hit that golf ball. And that's a great one to really train that movement. Brilliant for hybrid as well, but absolutely brilliant one there. I have one of my lessons, Bob, who really struggles with hanging back on his back leg, and this one, just like that, got him onto his lead side and got him shifting around, and he was hitting the ball so much better. These were his nemesis, absolute nemesis. He was actually afraid of getting them out of his golf bag, never did on his rounds. Now he gets them out all the time because he's hitting them absolutely pure, and sometimes if he's struggling, he would actually do this drill out in the golf course. Nothing stopping you from doing it. So, ball more out the front of the stance there, club out the middle. Only way for us to hit that ball, shift onto that lead side. Really shift onto it. That's going to get us hitting down the component we need to be hitting these nicely off the deck. Good, and you can see for those last two, that little kind of like divot just after the golf ball. So guys, we can really see that one fundamental difference between hitting woods and hybrids off the deck properly. We've got to be hitting more down on that golf ball. We're not saying hitting down to the extent of a mid iron, but we definitely need to be hitting it down to the extent of, let's say, more of a 4 iron, rather than trying to just to clip it up and sweep it up off the ground. So once you really get that going in, that little concept, shifting that ball back, doing this drill to really help you if you struggle getting onto the lead side, which will be a lot of you, then you'll be on your way to hitting much better shots off the deck with your 3-wood and your hybrid, or just woods in general. So guys, if you found that video helpful, please like the video. Again, like I said before, it helps me out a ton, so like that video, please like it. So after that, subscribe. There'll be a lot more videos coming out in the near future, lots of easy kind of to understand golf instruction. Golf can be very complicated. At JChownGolf we keep it very simple. So get stuck in with these things, guys, and you'll be hitting those woods and those hybrids a lot better off the deck.